friends, it's Atika
and Taylor,
and we are here with our very first YouTube video.
Yes, so excited.
This is so exciting, you all. Taylor and I have wanted to start a YouTube channel for so long, as you all know. Yeah,
so long.
This video is going to be an introductory video. It's going to be kind of what we have like in store for our channel in general, as well as how we met, because you all have not met this man yet.
That's right.
This
What's up,
is
YouTube?
I know. This is my husband, and we've been married officially for a month now, and it's so cool.
It's been incredible.
Yes, let's start off with just like the basic, what is this channel going to be? This channel is going to be a ministry channel for Taylor and I. It's going to be vlogging, it's going to be ministry sit-down videos helping you all out. As you all saw in our little intro, it says edifying entertainment in that circle right there. So we're going to provide you all entertainment that is edifying. We are lacking that in this world nowadays. We basically want your parents to not have to worry at all when you sit down to watch Atika and Taylor, basically.
That's right. That's right. So edifying just means that it builds you up.
Yes.
Right? Because Atika and I were talking about this the other day, is like we consume so much entertainment, so much content.
Yeah.
And so much of it is distracting us from God. It's distracting us from even just like thoughtful things.
Yeah.
It's just totally mindless. And I told Atika, I was like, sometimes after I watch some stuff on TV or YouTube, I just feel like I've lost brain cells. And you can also lose spiritual brain cells if you're not careful. So this is a channel that we want to use to build you up spiritually, also build you up just intellectually, get you thinking about things, reasoning and working through complex ideas that are presented in our culture.
We just basically want to provide edifying entertainment for you all. Entertainment you don't have to worry about, you don't have to question, and it's actually uplifting to you, even if it's just something as simple as like our morning routine or our nighttime routine or something like that. Like, we just really want to be able to provide you guys edifying entertainment, not only just like seeing things like that and not just ministry wise, but just like a biblical model for like marriages and relationships and, you know, how to argue healthy, how to like do things like that. So we're excited for what this channel has in store.
It's gonna be awesome. We're so thrilled about it and so excited to be making this video our first YouTube video together. I'm gonna take it way back for my version of how we met, which is, so I went to school in Louisville. I went to a church called Southeast in Louisville, and I was really involved with the college ministry there. And I was at a college ministry worship night, and I didn't even want to be there, first of all. Actually, my friend literally like drugged me there. I was like, I don't want to go. He's like, no, you're coming. I was like having a bad day. I was depressed that day, and he's like, no, you're coming. You're gonna come worship, praise the Lord. And I was like, he finally convinced me to go. We get there, and you know how they do announcements and stuff sometimes at worship nights. Well, the person giving those announcements was Atika. And literally the moment that I saw her, I turned to my buddy and I was like, dude, like, holy cow. I was like, who is that? Like, she fine. I thought like, okay, she's, you know how it is in Christian circles, like everybody's married. So I was like, well, she's probably married. She probably got a husband, and he's probably some big like jack dude. I'm like, oh crap.
Oh my
So I assumed that she was married, but I was still like, who is that? And he told me, he's like, oh, that's her name's Atika, and she actually goes to this inner city ministry called Perp Me. And I had been meaning to go to that for a while. He had been talking to me about it, trying to get me to go to it, because him and my other buddy had been going to it. And I knew the guy that was kind of like the founder of it. And that was the, like, you know, they say the straw that broke the camel's back. That was like the last push that got me to go to Perp Me. I was like, okay, I've been wanting to do it for a while. I'm going this week. I finally went, and I saw Atika there, and I got nervous, so I did not talk to her. And this went on for weeks. Like, I didn't talk to her for the first couple weeks of me going there and just seeing her there. And then I was like, okay, like she hasn't introduced herself to me yet. I need to take charge. I need to be the man. I was very slick in the way I did it though. Because instead of going up to her and being like, hi, I'm Taylor, I introduced myself to everyone in the room. So I just made my way in a circle so that she could see I wasn't like targeting her.
Yeah.
Or would think I wasn't targeting her, because I definitely was. Introduced myself to her and I was like, oh wow, she's actually like really cool. And we talked for 2 hours, 2.5 hours?
It was like 2.5 hours that night.
2 or 2.5 hours the first night that we met.
Kind of crazy.
And I had no idea before that she was a social media influencer.
Yeah.
So when I heard that, I was like, okay, I literally, if I had a little bit of a chance before, it's definitely gone now, because I'm sure there's like a trillion guys flooding her DMs. And from there, I went back home because the semester ended and didn't really talk to Atika very much after that. I would try to slide into her DMs every now and then to like, because she followed me on social media, which I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, dang, she followed me. Oh my goodness, this girl who has all these followers followed me. And so I would slide into her DMs every now and then, just respond to her stories and stuff to try to make her not forget who I was.
Smart.
It's like, don't forget about my existence. And then I got bold and was like, hey, when I get back to Louisville for school, we'll have to hang out sometime. Go get coffee or something.
My side of it was I had been going to Pertney for, a while. It had been a very long time that I was just going there, having a good time, talking to people, meeting people, things like that. Not in a romantic way, but just being around other creatives, because that's what this place was. Like, it was just a place for like a bunch of creatives to come together to help out kiddos in the West End of Louisville. So I was thriving there. It was so fun. I did not notice Taylor going there for weeks. Like, when he says that he went there for weeks, like, sometimes I'm just like, did you really though? Because yes. I did not notice. Like, I did not see him at all. I don't know. I have no idea. He was really good at hiding, I guess, because I didn't notice. And so he said, he introduced himself to everyone that night. I didn't notice that, but he came up to me and he was like, hi, I'm Taylor. And he was wearing like this kind of like mustard yellow beanie. I think it was like a Carhartt beanie or something like that.
Such a hipster.
Yeah.
Goodness.
And he just had these big eyes. That's something that I've always like remembered about Taylor, and like just in the beginning stages of meeting him, is that he just had these big eyes. And he was like, hi, I'm Taylor. And I was like, hi, I'm Atika. And like, people were kind of being loud on that half of the room. So I was like, how about we go like over here on this half of the room and like talk for a little bit. And he was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, okay, cool. So we went over there and we talked and stuff. And like I said, we talked for like 2.5 hours the first night that we ever met, which was so cool and like so weird at the same time, because who do you meet for the first time and talk for 2 hours with? Right. So we met, and Taylor was recovering from his burn accident at the time, and so he still had like his legs like not gauzed up,
compression. But I had to wear compression pants. That would be a whole other video. I'll share my testimony and share about the burns, which could probably be its own video. Yeah. But yeah, I was wearing compression to help with the scar tissue, helping the blood circulation and things like that. Yeah. Yeah, so I had noticed, or I didn't notice that on his legs because he was wearing pants over it. But he had shown me all of the videos and the pictures from his burns the first night that we met. And, now looking back on it, he tells me now that it was because if he had a chance with me, he wanted to, just kind of put everything out there and scare me away if I was going to be scared away, because he was kind of insecure that no girl would ever like him because of his legs. Yes. So he just went on ahead and showed me his legs up front, was like, this is basically what you're going to get, And I was just like, oh my goodness, wow, like that is insane, So it wasn't anything that makes me like
vomit or anything like that. Like, I have a pretty strong stomach, I can take it. So he was just showing me all that, and I was like, wow, this guy's pretty bold for showing me this stuff the first day that we meet. Like he said, he slid into my DMs and was just like, hey Atika, such a great time meeting you last night, and I just love your spirit for the Lord, and all that Christian boy stuff that they say.
Spit some game.
The summer went on, and Taylor would slide into my DMs here and there, and I was just like, man, like, this is such a great friend. Like, he's just so awesome, like, he's always checking in on me, and I didn't think anything of it. So anyway, he got back and he sent me a message, and he was like, hey, I'm back in Louisville and I would love to hang out, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And he asked for my number, and I gave him my number. And then the first time that we like hung out was like at a coffee shop.
Okay, hold up. You're skipping a big part.
I am?
Yeah, you said, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's hang out. Okay, that's not, I said, hey, let's hang out, let's go get some coffee. And she's like, oh yeah, I'd love to. How about like 3 weeks from now? Okay. So that's not exactly the biggest confidence booster that a guy could get when he asks you to hang out.
I was going out of town, okay? This was I was traveling to Texas for my friend Grayson Bearden's wedding.
Yep.
So that's why I was like, yeah, let's do it in like 3 weeks. Because when he messaged me, it had already been like, I had like a week until I got on the plane to go to Texas. So he was like, he just messaged me at the wrong time. I forgot about that.
Oh, I did not.
I went to Texas, came back, we met at a coffee shop, and Taylor thinks this was our first date.
Yes.
I did not think this was our first date, and this is why I didn't think that was our first date. I didn't think that was our first date because every Christian, like at least in my circle, is like, let's go to a coffee shop and talk. Let's go to a coffee shop and hang. Let's go to a coffee shop and do whatever, like it's not like a special thing to, go to a coffee shop and talk. Like, it's just like a normal Christian thing.
I bought her coffee.
I just thought he was being sweet.
First of all, okay. Second of all, guy, girl, one-on-one, come on now. Okay, but like I said, coffee shop, and I told him too, I was like, you gotta be upfront when you're asking a girl out on a date. You gotta be like, this is a date. Yes. That's something, if I could share one piece of advice for the guys out there.
Yeah.
Just literally use the word date, okay? Because that's, apparently you have to literally like say the word date.
We ended up talking, it was fantastic. And then I don't remember what we did after that. I think we just kind of kept up conversations on the phone and just kind of talking to each other and stuff. And like during this time, it's like I was starting to like him, but also was kind of like, I don't really know. There was this one time that he ended up like telling me, hey, I'm at, the college age ministry for the watch party. I saved a seat for you and I have a gift for you. Yeah. And we weren't even like dating or anything.
We had told each other that we liked each other.
We did tell each other that we liked each other.
Like
like
a day or two before.
Yeah, like a day or two before. Also, I'm kind of sick, so sometimes I can't really talk that well. We ended up telling each other that we liked each other, and then he'd said all these things the next day, and I freaked out. I like pulled over in a Walgreens parking lot, called my friend Becca, and I was like, Becca, this boy is freaking weird. I was like he
oh my God.
he has a gift for me. He's saving a seat for me. And ladies, let me tell you though.
Right.
Now looking back on it though, it was simply because I wasn't used to being pursued by a guy. Like, I was not used to being pursued. I was the one that was always telling guys that I liked them. I was the one that was always like, hey, do you want to go out on a date? I was the one asking guys for the date. I was the alpha female, basically. And I didn't care either. Like, I would gladly ask a guy out on a date. I just wasn't used to that. So he freaked me out at first because of that. And, you know, I was just kind of like, no, this isn't going to work. And then God thing happened, because there's a lot of God moments in mine and Taylor's relationship leading up to our marriage, honestly. So many God moments. But this was probably the first God moment, and it was, we had an opening for one of the campuses within our church. So old church had like 8 or 9 campuses, and they were opening up a new one. And I had no intentions of going because I wasn't part of that campus. Like, I went to the main campus, but I knew the old college age pastor who was opening up the smaller campus. And he told me, I like woke up at like 6:50 one morning. So crazy, so random. But I woke up at like 6:50, and he texted me at 6:54, and he said, "Hey, Atika, I know this is super random, but like, we would love for you to be there for the opening of the campus, the launch of it." And at first I was like, should I go? And then I was like, you know what, why not? Like, I'm up this early, might as well go. So I went, and guess who was there? He was there. He was being a greeter or a door holder?
Yes, both.
Both. So he was both.
Like, you could not miss me.
Yeah.
There was only one way into the church.
Only one way into the church.
And I was at the door greeting people.
Yep. So I got out of my car, and I looked, and I said, oh gosh. And I debated getting back into my car and just going back home.
And it's crazy because I debated like walking off to like being like, okay, I gotta run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I was just like, you know what? No, I'm just going to brave it. I'm just going to brave it out. So I ended up walking up there, and oh my goodness, y'all. I still remember this moment so vividly. It's insane. Like, I have not forgotten it. But I rounded that corner. I went up there, saw Taylor and his big eyes. And like, all these butterflies and feelings just came rushing. Like, I mean, it smacked me, y'all. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think I really like this boy. And he was just like, hi, Tika. Like, he was so sweet to me. And he gave me a hug, you know, and I was, you know, made small talk. And then, you know, I kind of awkwardly turned and went back into the church. And from that point forward, I was like, I'm going to message him back, and I'm going to ask if he wants to get coffee. We ended up getting coffee together, and
I had no intention of any of that, because when she friend zoned me, I was pretty much done.
He was done.
I was like, I unadded her on Snapchat.
Yep.
And that's what really got in her head. And then she had texted me about it, and I just didn't respond for like 7 days.
Yes.
And then I responded, and it had been like 3 days since I'd responded that she came to the church.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah.
So she came to the church. She hadn't responded to me for 3 days, and she saw me there greeting.
Yeah. And
then I told my best friend Caleb, I said, dude, watch, she's going to respond tonight. And she did.
Yeah. I did.
And that's when she texted me, hey, let's go eat coffee.
Yes, we went to get coffee. And like Taylor said, his mind was set. He did not, you know, intend on getting into a relationship with me or anything like that. But I had other plans. I knew it from that moment. I was like, I know I like this boy, and I want to give it a shot. So, you know, right before I got up the courage to tell him, he starts telling me, I really like this. Like, this is really nice, you know, us being friends. There's no pressure. I really like this. And I was like, I was like, you know what? I don't care. Like, I'm still going to tell him. I said, well, that's great for you. But for me, I think that we should give this a shot. Like, I realized that I really, really like you, and, you know, I want to give this a shot. And he was very apprehensive because he just thought that I was just trying to get attention back from him, just a text message, you know, things like that, just someone to text, you know, and which is like very that's a good thing to be cautious about, because girls are like that. Like, they just want someone to give them attention and stuff. So.
And they don't want commitment.
Yes.
That's what I thought that was the case with her. I thought she wanted the attention, but not the commitment.
You know, for me, I was like, you know, I just want to give this a shot again. And so he was like, let's give it a week, pray about it. And I was like, okay, you can pray about it, but I've already made my mind up about it.
Yeah.
So we actually still gave it a week, though.
Yep.
And then after that, we decided to get into a relationship. So if you all like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and smash that big red subscribe button. And make sure you turn on post bell notifications so that you get notified every time that we upload a video, y'all.
This is going to be frequent.
This is going to be really frequent. Once a week, we're going to be consistent. And I'm so excited, y'all. Like, I'm seriously so excited.
Can't wait to make more and more YouTube videos.
Yeah.